This is the final series of the day, everyone. It is MOUZ Esports taking on the side of Aurora as game number 1. The winner of this series, if it ends up being a 2-0, is going to be in a really good spot for their group, but it could end up in a draw, and we'll be right back where we started. Both these teams sitting at tied for 3rd place as we go through all the facets here. Again, and I think a lot of these make sense. The MOUZ Esports one, nothing surprising for either of these teams. I think the Solar Bind is one of those abilities that if you do not respect it, you can really lose some of your like mid-game momentum, because that thing is so difficult to play around.
Yeah, especially with some of these heroes with escapes, you can technically escape from Solar Bind, but if they just follow up, you're actually super slowed at that point. So we'll see how you commit, because Clockwork is one of those heroes who can just keep chasing you down as you're affected by Solar Bind, and Clockwork actually does a crazy amount of damage. Yeah. So if he's getting amped up by Solar Bind, I mean, you better watch out.
Yep. All right. As we are looking top lane here, they might try and find a grab onto this Gyro. I mean, these are two really high damage supports. Inkswell plus the dual breath. 23 Savage about to get the surprise of his life. Oh, actually, he just goes for Stroke of Fate level 1, so no Inkswell, as Ollie's doing his best to try and offer some help. Close. The Afterburner, is it enough? Dude, it actually is. Ooh, 9 HP! The auto attack, the vision just barely granted. They get the first blood for Bengen. And Gyro's gonna miss the entire first wave. He's trying to just shove it under the tower.
Makes it
doesn't miss the entire first wave, but
that's still a rough start. Really good play from MOUZ. I like that order of events too. They don't start with Stroke of Fate. They wait till the creeps line up to get just that extra bit of damage, which we see actually it totally mattered, right? That was the last attack that killed Gyro.
Absolutely.
And they're immediately chunking down his health again.
That's such a cool play. Really well done.
Now imagine if he had fine art.
It'd be even more damage. I'll remind you in a little bit later why, you know, Instigate is picked when a hero dies instead of TPing out.
Don't worry, it won't happen this game.
It will never happen. Yeah, of course. Oh, that is a sick little play there from Supreme. Canceling the Illuminate, gets the deny on the range creep. Good stuff there. Bottom lane, Jabs actually taking a little bit of damage, but a really nice cogs there from Q to actually hold them back for the moment. You need to play for your level 3 timing, right, on Aurora in this offlane. That's when things get really scary, and Bengen's actually doing so much damage to this Viper.
They're doing a great job of abusing this power spike they've got right here, this level 2 to level 1, because this is actually the time to punish Viper. Many people in pubs, you're too passive, and then Viper gets scary, and it's impossible. But he's actually super weak level 1, and they are taking advantage of that to keep him low. Didn't get a kill, though, so he is going to slowly catch up as this creep wave has shoved in. And like you said, once he hits level 3, he becomes way scarier with that second point in poison attack.
Yeah, and he did go the poison attack facet, which called Poison Burst. I actually hate both of his facets, to be honest. I think Vipers are just not interesting. It's definitely better for farming, but here we go. They're just going to play out the level 2 as Q manages to get the cogs to trap Bengen in place, running him down here with the battery assault, blood grenade, 4 points in that, or 4 stacks of the poison attacks. Not enough to find the kill, and now Q, they turn it around. Jabs has to come to the safety as the Lotus will go to Olnit. That's big.
Ooh, Bengen almost had a salve cancel. The poison burst from Sven. The AoE, I guess, is kind of small. Haven't really seen it too much because the hero Viper just isn't that popular right now.
It's popular in Jabs' mind.
I thought. That's true. Jabs has always had certain heroes he likes when no one else does.
Mid lane, pretty even, but slightly favoring Supreme in terms of denies and last hits, so he's doing really well. Again, it's one of the reasons you pick the Void Spirit. He's one of the few heroes that can actually dodge or mitigate a lot of the damage from this Void Spirit, and they actually blocked the small camp here, or the medium camp behind the mid tower, so Lornov won't be able to get the double stack for now. He's only be able to get one of them. which definitely something you want to play around as a mid coddle.
He does get it unblocked, and it's not too bad. He didn't miss too many stacks because of that.
Yeah. Jabs bottom lane, taking a lot of damage. Can Q make it in time? I don't. Well, maybe. He doesn't have mana on the clockwork, though.
That is the Cogs nerf coming in. This used to be 5 seconds lower cooldown.
That is really unfortunate. They get the kill onto the Viper, and Q, he's going to get caught from the Stormhammer, and they get 2 heroes now. Bankin, double kill. Olnit will just deny himself to the tower to get back into this lane as fast as possible.
Chap's just a little too far out, while Clockwork was, I think, getting... No, he wasn't getting the bounty rune. I actually don't know what he was doing.
Maybe he was coming back from Water Rune?
Maybe. Yeah, that might be it. Well, I mean, wouldn't you walk past the bounty rune in this case?
Top lane,
oh, top
23.
Lane.
Taking a lot of damage, but Aurora turning it right back as the Afterburner is making him just zoom him on down. And they get 1 kill, likely to be 2, as that second or third Rocket Barrage will be coming out. Tries to pop the Lotus, a Fairy Fire. It's not enough. Double kill for 23 Savage. Huge momentum swing in the top lane as this full creep wave is going to go right into the tower, and they're going to lose some precious XP here as well.
You can see why they're willing to first pick the Gyro. Even after that rough start they had, he's back on top and getting kills. I feel like they first pick it and they bait it out, and they see like, oh, if we can get IO, we just do carry Gyro. If we can't get IO, support Gyro.
Lorna, oh, he actually does get Solar Bind. Supreme's got another Astral Step. He should be fine. But the level 6 from the Coddle there, absolutely essential. Otherwise, Supreme just dives him and gets the kill. Actually off the mark there with the other Illuminate, and Supreme's going to go back in, try and just do what damage he can. He really desperately needs an Urn Charge. So an early pick makes the world of difference, but because of this rotation, Jabs forced to TP out in the bottom lane as they see the Clockwork rotating every single time. Supreme now falling low. Does have 11 wand charges. Astral Steps again to dodge this one out. A never-ending fight here in the mid lane, it would seem. Because they will get that D ward once they find it.
Coddle secures himself an Illusion rune, which he doesn't really need the runes. It's more about denying him from Supreme. Which actually, Illusion, sometimes hit or miss, but this game would have been really good to dispel Solar Bind, or even like some poisoned attack stacks if you were to gank Viper. So, a little aggression lost from MOUZ for not having that rune.
23 Savage might just... Is he just going to solo kill him? Run him down? He's trying.
Lucky he hits on the barrage.
Oh, Void Spirit, though, is there. He needs one more attack. He's got so much move speed for the Afterburner, but it's not enough. Just baited. The TP in from Supreme pays off. He's immediately going to refill the bottle on the Wisdom Rune.
The perfect voice line for that. It would have been a really sick play, right? And he was so close. Depending on his luck, because Rocket Barrage can just hit some like random things in the range, right? The creeps ate enough Rocket Barrages that Pango barely lives there.
It's Coddle time, baby. Rotating to the bottom side. His ward instantly destroyed by Bangin. He's going to die for this one, and there's the first Urn Charge going for this Coddle. And this is when things get scary, as Lorna will have that Vessel sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he's pretty farmed. But Void did all right, especially with some help from the rotations coming in. So he's doing okay. Should be able to start making some rotations himself. Just got a little unlucky with that last rune. We'll see if 8 minutes he can get a little bit luckier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Who wins the rune? It will be an amplified damage too. That's pretty
you have Inkswell, right?
sick.
I mean, this is a really good combo. They have a smoke as well if they want to make a gank.
I mean, if they see Coddle, he dies to the amplified damage. You just double Astral Strike him, and he dies. There's just no way you can survive that. I guess maybe if you TP in quick enough on Q, you might be able to punish it, but I think he still dies.
Rotation bottom.
Yeah, they're going to look for the Sven. You bring so much magic damage to the table. That Warcry does not help you, and you can absolutely not run away. And here comes Coddle once again. Well, instant D-wards from the Jakiro again. As Lorna needs to be a little bit careful. They are smoking, like you said, and there's the amplified damage. And so quick, in trouble. They're going to try and survive, but it's not there. Call down coming through from 23 Savage. Double missile onto Supreme. He double Astral Strike. Can 23 Savage stay on top of him? He's falling low. He's got the missile to chase. 3 seconds for a shield for the barrier. It's going to connect. Sven's coming through as well. Q is here. He's got an Astral Step in 3. He's going to make it out on Supreme, but now maybe the Sven's the one that's in trouble. Trying to throw these cogs on through, but it's not there. Good disengage from MOUZ. They get the big kill on the Caudle. And they get out on everybody.
Looks like it. That was really close. The IO heal didn't save the Caudle, but it required the Void Spirit to use the second Astral Step, which almost got him killed. It was really close. And again, that's where the nerf to Clockwork comes into play. The power cogs, again, just off on the timing because it's not maxed out yet.
So the vessel's done, right? This is when things get a little bit scary for the Keeper of the Light. If you are not ready for the rotation, like he probably just ignores the Void Spirit and just runs down other heroes with this vessel. So we're gonna see another 10-minute rune. This one going to Supreme. Now you're definitely ignoring him.
Definitely,
He gets a
yeah.
shield rune.
Yeah, you probably rotate bottom again, especially once Ollie has level 6 on Io, which he's fairly close, because at that point then you can just gank bottom, or maybe the bottom lane comes to mid, like some variation of you guys making a play together on the bottom side so you can just Io relocate in.
Yeah, they're almost at the level 6 on Q. I think he gets it off these 2 creeps. It's gonna be very close. Yeah, he should. So that's Hookshot online, and with this, that's like a potential game changer in terms of the pressure that he can add to this to the map. One thing to know, we haven't really even talked about this offlane Pango, but he's kind of owning.
In getting farm or what?
Yeah, like he's doing much better than I expected, right? Like I thought this lane was gonna be kind of rough into the gyrocopter, but he's still getting XP. He's got double bracers and mana boots. They're actually rotating everybody to the top side of the map, and if they actually connect onto the gyro here, it'd be amazing. Io is going to be the one that breaks the smoke, gets the tether off. They're going to be able to get on top of him. Here comes the missiles, though. Supreme needs to be very careful. 2 missiles down, pops a shield room. Q's coming in as well. And with that commitment, it's a heavy burden, as you're going to lose the Void Spirit in the process. The rest of the team cuts their losses.
Good reactions by Aurora to get that return kill. If they activate Inkswell a little sooner to cancel the tether, they don't have to commit so hard. They probably get that kill and get out. But it is scary because you might miss the stun. And also maybe you're thinking really greedy, like, oh, he'll lead us to the gyro. We can get 2. But Aurora was ready to react to that. It'll give a little space to Sven to catch up. He has been struggling a bit against this Viper. He's pretty far behind the gyro, so it's going to take quite a while.
Yeah. Not a super valuable rune in the mid lane there, but denying it from the Void Spirit, quite good. As he's closing in on a Manta, we'll absolutely need this game, right? You need you need a form of Dispel playing against the Caudle, the Spirit Vessel, as well as the Solar Bind is just devastating. So yeah, I really like the Manta pickup first item for the Void Spirit. I think that's really good idea. We'll see the pipe. Yeah, Guardian Grief's queued up for a while on the Pango, but gonna go back for the pipe instead, realizing that a lot of magic damage this game.
Yeah, especially from the heroes that are going to be active right now, right? It's the Caudle, the Viper. Gyro will bring in a lot of physical damage later on, but he's still scaling. And actually right now, a lot of his damage comes from Rocket Barrage and Call Down, which is all magic. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good call to get that pipe first.
Yeah, and he's close. He's just slowly making his way to the Aghanim Scepter. He'll have it before you know it. The Sven's net worth is remarkably low. This is the one that's surprising to me. Is obviously he had a rough lane into the Viper. I didn't think it was gonna go this bad, but he is really struggling to get into this game.
Usually you can just go jungle a little sooner, but I guess there's been a lot of rotations down here too, if you think about it. Caudle kept coming down here. And actually, if Rocket Flare scouts out the Ancient stack that Sven's probably hoping to use to catch up later, and Gyro's on his way. it's kind of worth it if you just steal this. But actually, they want to go for the 14-minute rune. Ah, no, okay. They decided this ancient stack's worth it. Let's just take this.
It's
Oh,
about
Sven makes it just in time to see this happen. He's like, "Aw, my stack."
It's like, guys, what? Is the missile gonna get the last hit? No. It's like, dude, what if you just watch the black dragon die at 1
That's
HP to the
so
missile?
sad. He gets one ancient creep out of, what was that, a triple or quad stack?
I think it was quad stack. Yeah.
So really nice play from Aurora. Good rocket flare to
block it,
scout that
too.
kind of info.
Yeah, they'll deward it immediately. So that's just a really smart rotation. Like, we've seen Aurora a lot of times play around heavy stacks in the triangle and in the jungle in general. And this time, I mean, they have their own stacks already. You have a gyrocopter, but realizing, hey, they're probably stacking for the Sven. Let's just smoke over, take those away. We'll grab 2 sets of ancient stacks for our gyro instead of just 1. Yeah, you can see it, man. Everybody on Aurora stacks. This team is so good at doing this.
And they leveled up their game too. They're like, wait, there's only so many stacks we can make, but I want more. Oh my god, the enemy team, they have stacks. So I really like that play to go invade. It's something I feel like we don't see enough when you can tell the enemy is going to stack to then pick a hero on your own team that can also steal those stacks. Which you won't always be able to do, but sometimes you get an opportunity to, and sometimes it makes your rotations easier. Rather than having to try to find a hero, you just kill the camp. You know exactly where it's going to be, and it's a huge amount of money. Like a 4 stack of ancients is like 1,000 gold.
Yeah, it makes a big
A little less than that, but it's like 800 or.
Yeah, it's like it's close enough, right? Especially if you're the team that like stacked it, it ends up being 1,000 gold that you're losing, right? Because you're losing the stack bounty.
Yeah. And it's the mental victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say I like the build from Viper this game. He's got the Mage Slayer. He's one of the few heroes that actually kind of benefited from the change. Like there's very few heroes that actually liked the change to Mage Slayer, right? Because it lasts longer, but it doesn't last as long, but it increases its damage, right? And for Viper, who's like definitely kind of like a single target, I'm just gonna run you down, it actually increases his damage output significantly because he reduces their magic resistance every attack.
Yeah, that's a great point. We'll see if he is allowed to attack, because so far it's just 0, 1, and 2. But Clockwork should be able to set him up to actually get those attacks in.
Let's go Mage Slayer, BKB. I think this is correct. Like, you actually just play as a stand your ground in the fight, because if you try to like play more of a carry, like going for like Dragon Lance and stuff, and like maybe Hurricane Pike, then you go back for like, I don't know, Manta to play for the real late game. I think you just want to match the timing of your gyrocopter, who's got an Aghanim Scepter. He's gonna go a BKB. You just want to play really aggressive. You have a 4,000 gold lead. It's not a ton, but like, look at the difference between the gyro and the Sven, dude. It is night and day.
I think that's the big thing. I think between talking, like 23 is telling them, it's like, hey, my lane went pretty well. I've stolen stacks. I've gotten kills. And Jab's telling them, yeah, I shut down the Sven, right? We have a really good timing there. So good heads up play. They can use this. Maybe they're actually just going to go for a Roche.
I mean, you can. You actually can.
Yeah. Or not.
They're seeing multiple heroes coming up here. I don't know if they saw the smoke under their ward. They might have. They jump in. Q gets the cogs off. He's trying his best to survive. The tether comes through. They heal him up quite a bit. Supreme taking so much damage. The silence won't connect him before. Can they actually look for more? Bengen just getting owned by the Solar Bind Vessel on the backside. Force immediately pops the Rolling Thunder. He might have to just TP. They're chasing. They want to look for more here on the side of Aurora, but they get 1 kill. They force out Rolling Thunder. They get God Strength. They back away. They're going for Roche.
Yeah, there's no way you can fight this without Macro Pyre and Pango Roll. Sven's maybe rejoining his team, but they're going to be too slow for this.
Yeah, no chance.
You can maybe look for a pickoff if Aurora splits up on the way out. So, let's see.
Goes mid to deep push.
Shows mid. Yeah, you might
Flare
be able
scouts
to.
them. They know exactly where they are.
Oh, yeah, good flare.
Well, you now have a security on the gyrocopter now. So even if you're managing to get the dream fight where you blow up the gyro before the IO can save him, he's got a second life that you can always rely on, where he'll have BKB and then of course the heals from the IO.
And doing that really early too means that the second Roche should spawn top, which will be a cheese for the IO, which will practically be a third life on the gyrocopter if you can time that well.
Yeah.
The banner might be pretty good this game actually. They don't have good banner killers on MOUZ. Maybe Jakiro double hit, but he's like so short attack range. You probably kill him if he walks up.
Yeah, if he walks up, he just gets Viper Striked and dies. I like the wards here on the bottom side of the map from Bangan. Puts one on the... oh, well, that one just expired. XD. Well, I liked the ward that was there a moment ago. But you do have the Twin Gate one, which is useful for sure. Helps scout some of these rotations that are going to be coming through on the corners of the map. Aurora has their own on the top side, though. So both teams kind of paying attention to the Twin Gates right now. It's 23 Savage. Mostly paying attention to the triangle, as there seems to always be a stacked camp there. And I still don't know how they managed to do that. It's mostly him. He's pulling himself up by his own bootstraps. Incredible. Arcane used and an illusion bottled up there for Supreme, which we mentioned. Illusion, very good this game.
Yeah, he's closing on the BKB on Gyro. They still have 3 minutes on Aegis. I think, how far is this? It looks like they're gonna come over for their Tormentor, and then he'll do this Ancient Camp, and that'll be his BKB. And you'll have about, at that point, like 2 minutes of the Aegis. You can go, I think I saw a line drawn bottom, so maybe picking up these tier 2s bottom, then mid. We got that
surprised. I'm surprised Ollie's not backing. Like, he's kind of running low on resources here, but he does have 20 stick charges and a Lotus, so maybe it's okay. But yeah, there it is.
If you stand next to Lornoff, you'll get healed too.
True, actually. I mean, I forgot Coddle's just going to give him all of his mana back and then hit him with a single Illuminate. Mid-tier 1 tower will go down here. Nice play from Supreme. As they had a ward here kind of scouting everyone on MOUZ, making this move into mid lane. So they're just deciding do not want to risk fighting there.
Maybe they can. Viper's not ready to fight yet. Viper's still working on BKB. We were talking about that timing lining up, but he farms so much slower than the Gyro that he still doesn't have his yet. He's close though. About, what is this? 400, 500 left?
Q with the jetpack. Just got it. Looking mid. Gets on top of Narman. And that Spirit Vessel, just way too much damage. Ink swelled up Supreme is like a, just in case you need to get out. We'll see. They bring in the IO even for this with the gyrocopter. So reload's over. Do know about the ward now. He did throw that up there on Q. Which Q has a pipe. What in the world? How did the Clockwork afford a pipe already?
He is 0, 1, and 7, and he has 61 last hits.
Okay, that'll do it. He did farm a lot. Pipe done. Jabs, BKB is done now too. Oh, they are getting to some big items. Lornov has the Octarine working towards his BKB. Dude, that is such a fast BKB on the Gyro. Look at that, man. 2 minutes, 40 seconds faster than the average, as he now queues up the Daedalus. Aurora is just playing the efficiency game here. It is 6-9, nice. But, dude, they are winning so much on the map at the moment.
Yeah, not doing too much with the Aegis, actually, besides farming. Like, a little bit of a tower push here. They might get this tier 2. But it seems like they just wanted this Aegis to guarantee their farm and maybe just set up the cheese play we were talking about. Since the sooner you do the first one, the sooner you get the second one. Yeah, looks like an uncontested tier 2 here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, you cannot keep up with the Gyro. I mean, Sven has been slowly climbing on the net worth, right? He was literally 6th on the cores, but now up to 3rd position here in net worth. Aegis about to expire. Again, this is kind of, like you mentioned, just a farming Aegis and to put it on cooldown. And it works. They did exactly what they wanted. Q's coming through. He knows the ward's over there. But
yeah, MOUZ is trying to play around this Observer. They know they're behind, so they need to play in their vision, but that's the hard part for them, as Aurora did see that it's there. So you know that they know that you know the whole mind game, so they've just been avoiding that area.
Good smoke into a deep ward. I like this one a lot too. Radiant scan. It actually doesn't connect to the Coddle, just barely. But they will see him on the ward now. That being said, dude, Q has been constantly trying to jetpack over here for vision and look for the heroes on the high ground, but they are just smoked. And they're so like they're gonna commit onto him. All right, they'll say finally we're just gotta get something here, and it will be the clockwork. A nice kill. Question is, can they get more? Still a little bit of time left on the smoke there for Supreme, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're just gonna use this to try to take the top tower. That's God strength for your clockwork though, so as soon as clockwork's up, you could look to fight because that's Daedalus done on Gyro. They actually smoke him now, so maybe they don't even need the clockwork. Actually, they kind of do. He's the only initiator.
They are looking at Supreme here. That is one astral step down, gets the Manta to remove Solar Bind, so we'll be okay. This is the problem with the Aurora draft that we talked about earlier. You do not have stuns outside of Clockwork. You're gonna need a Scythe of Ice from the Coddle, and I'm sure he's gonna build one immediately after the BKB, because that is typically the play, right? You get BKB, and then you go Scythe because you have so much cast range on the Coddle. But without the Clockwork, you really lack the initiation at the moment.
He's making his way over, doing his little taunt on the way.
I love the robot. It's so good.
It's a good one. Gyro shredding that tower. He's got so much damage. Casually hitting for, was it like 250 damage right now?
Yeah, on his way to a butterfly now as well, which not a item that Sven's love to play into. You're absolutely required to go back for an MKB, which he might recognize that the item is going to be, you know, something he has to build for. But
Radiant's middle tower.
top lane, Bengen TP's out. It'll be fine.
Ooh,
Close shot not in time.
It is kind of nice because you're playing against IO. Instead of needing the MKB, you can plan to just hit the IO, cleave some damage over, and then just hope that a couple hits will finish off, and you get a little lucky on the evasion. But you're right. As you go later into the game, you will at some point need an MKB or Bloodthorn from someone.
Dude, I love that missile. It's one of the best cosmetics that was ever added to the game.
Which one, the rocket flare missile or like
No, the
gyro
missile for gyrocopter. Yeah, it's just
one
so
that walks
good.
in.
Yeah, it just like just starts running at you, and you're like, oh no, no, no. Someone kill it. Wards from both teams here on the top side of the map. There is a sentry, however, for Aurora, but it's just out of range. And there, Bengen's like, wait a minute. They see us. One of the benefits of the Jakiro change, right? Instantly dewards. It's so good.
Yeah, he's getting a couple bottom at the start of the game, right? Both
Yeah.
teams are setting up here because this is the second Roche we've been talking about. Both teams recognize its importance. MOUZ is set up first, and they have the vision advantage. You do have Rocket Flare to scout for you a little bit, and the Jetpack.
Olnit might have to BKB this. Do they get the stun off in time? They do not. He's going to turn around with the God Strength, but guess what? 23 Savage will just turn it around. Flare out from Q. The Soulbind holding back the side of Aurora. Honestly, not a bad start here from MOUZ if they can get out. Here's going to be the Rolling Thunder from Force. Missile connects. Bengen's on the backside, trapped here, trying to make his way through the tree. Supreme's gonna go in, has an Ink Spell. This is a huge grab onto 3, silences them up, and here comes the Rolling Thunder. They get the IO, but can you finish off 23 Savage? He's the big target. A Stormhammer is out, but Olnit getting shredded by the damage from from the Jab's Viper, and just so much coming through from this Coddle as well. And Q flying high in the sky here, does not want to let Narman get away, but not much of a choice now. Great buyback from both supports, but ends up being Aurora's win.
I feel that was a bit of a mistake. Yeah, as we see the replay, Sven being in the front, so this is already after Sven gets jumped, so they try to still take the fight after that, and they get a really good initiation on the Gyro and Io. Which probably as much as they could hope for, but you see like Sven without the BKB because he used it earlier, he like tries to join the fight and then is just immediately killed. And I think that's like they should have swapped spots with the Void Spirit, because the issue with Sven, like once you get hookshotted, sure you can pop BKB, but then there's the Viper ult that's going to slow you down. If you don't BKB, there's Solar Bind, there's the knockback. But a Void Spirit wouldn't care about that, and he'd be able to jump away. And we've seen a lot of elusive heroes do that for their team. They take the point, they tank them spells, they still get away. Sven can't do that, and because of that, I feel he spent most of his time just running away in that fight.
One of the things that was really funny at the tail end of that, I didn't notice initially, when Sven started to run in, Q just threw a cog at him from the backside. He just sniped him from max range, just bonks him with a cog as he's trying to run in, and just hits a full Illuminate right to the face and dies. And you're like, oh. If there wasn't enough problems, just a random cog from downtown.
I love power cog change. It's so good. It's so fun. Like, even if you're losing, it's just so funny to kick the power cogs around.
Yeah. 13,000 gold lead for Aurora now, as they are going to threaten this high ground. Aegis for 3 minutes, 45 seconds still. And like you said, the cheese onto the IO. This was the timing you're playing for, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we just saw that stat. Gyro doing all the building damage for his team. They're doing a great job of playing around him as the focal point. Not only earlier making the stack, setting him up, but now they just send him in front, hit the tower, we'll sit behind you. If they ever initiate on you, we will hookshot in. We'll pull you out. You know, we got the heals from the Illuminate.
Gyro,
or maybe you'll just stand
Satanic.
there yourself.
Yeah. Force? He's okay for now. I mean, they actually managed to get a stun when he popped the Satanic, so he didn't really heal up too much, but you have the IO and the Coddle behind you, so you're just going to keep dumping health into him. But here comes Supreme with the Ink Swell. Can they chain stun bring him down enough? He's just surviving through everything.
That was actually a lot of damage
too.
That was a lot of damage, but you see the difference the heals make between the double Illuminate heal, healing IO
Satanic,
and Gyro.
he just turns it around. He wants to get these heroes. The fortification buys him a little bit of time, but...
Oh, Sven AC. Because Sven's not even here. I was like wondering...
Where is he?
What's going on? I think he's farming up the AC. Or they just really didn't want to back for that one. It turns out they didn't need to, actually. They left.
Well, they have an Amplify damage now, and they are definitely going to put it to good use. They're going to try and just force something out of Supreme here. A very difficult hero to grab, so I don't think he's going to be in too well, unless you get caught from the hook shot. Nah, he'll be okay.
Someone kill that rocket! Wow, the Manta dodge over Dissimulate.
Dire structures are fortified.
Bangan's going to get caught on the far left side here. Tries to force staff onto the high ground, but can he get away? A second force staff will be enough to save him, and now 23 Savage with the Amplify damage. Sets his sights back on these lane of barracks. Still has Satanic available. No BKB, but can Olned actually get in here? You gotta be, dude, this flak is just ripping through the back line.
Yeah, you almost need to smoke in the back just not to get hit by flak cannon.
I mean, we've seen how much damage they can do to 23. Like, they have a lot, and it wasn't with the Sven before. Oh, the stun actually just catches Supreme before he goes in, but now he's going to have time. There's going to be, in comes the Sven, but the Viper Strikes got him, and the flak is just way too much. The Solar Bind as well. They can't do anything. Every attempt from MOUZ is just thwarted.
If they commit the BKB right away, I think they can kill 23, but that's where losing that Aegis fight earlier
they're gonna go for a
set them up
wraparound.
now. Yeah, they need to try to get the kill, the first kill without committing everything, and that's so hard. Look at this.
Oh, he just pops the BKB. He's like, I'm not gonna let you get onto my IO. You cannot touch my Coddle.
23 is not even as worried about using his BKB. He knows even without it, he's so much survivability.
Yeah, just pops Satanic, tries to heal through it, and he is. The heals from the Isle as well as the Coddle's enough. The hookshot through from Q is trapped the Sven. He's broken, has to BKB to run, and that is not what you want. Finally, Gyro's Aegis will be grabbed as Forrest helps finish off the Clockwork. He's going to go for the Rolling Thunder, and oh, wait a minute. He's actually stuck on the high ground here. 23 Savage in some trouble. Do they finally get the kill? The Force Staff, the Ice Path as well. Can they do it? They finally make it happen as they look for the IO next. Supreme will burn most likely. Oh, nice dispel from Narman. He's okay. Jabs, you've kind of forgot about this guy. Just laying in damage on the backside here with this Viper, but they will commit the God Strength. It is 4 dead for Aurora. as they finally show some signs of life here on MOUZ. It's a massive win. Is it enough?
That might have gotten them back into this. There was a bit overcommitment. So he had Aegis, so he was willing to go far, but it means he dies in kind of an awkward spot for his team, especially as Clockwork dies, who's the only one who can really disrupt fights with power cogs and hookshot. So Gyro spends the whole time running away. Really good roll in the back. You see Io can't connect to the Gyro, which part of the reason he's surviving so much is not only the heal from Gyro, but then Illuminate double heals the Io, which then heals the Gyro. Then the Illuminate hits the Gyro. Io's popping everything. So without that tether connection, Gyro's actually a lot more susceptible, which is why when they did a very controlled push, it was going so well. But then I think getting a little overexcited there at the end of the Aegis, trying to get it like, oh, I want to be efficient with the Aegis. I want it to die. It kind of broke their positioning.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Cheese Aegis, and Io, like you said, getting rolled up, never even gets the opportunity to tether Cheese and completely reset the fight. If that Cheese happens, I think MOUZ lose the game. Like, legitimately, I think the game would end because Gyro would turn around full HP, full mana, kill like 2 or 3 heroes, and I don't believe they have buybacks at the ready after that one, so that would have been pretty devastating. Overall, really good plays from MOUZ. Still a little bit behind, but definitely showing that they have the damage to try and burst through these heroes. I think a lot of it's going to be onto the Pango. He has to get to the back line. He cannot allow this Io and Coddle to just keep doing this.
Yeah, Void Spirit went dataless, so he actually does a lot of damage. So I think maybe Void Spirit and the Pango, or maybe Void Spirit plus Ink Swell's enough. Someone's got to delete this Gyro. Or sorry, the Io. Like, if we see the damage going into Gyro, and then it just doesn't mean anything because they're just healing him up, right? So you have to break the source of that healing, which is the Io.
Absolutely. All right, well, they grab their own Wisdom Rune here. The enemy Tormentor is up, and I think Aurora would like to play to try and steal the Tormentor away, but MOUZ is... They're not as easy to kind of bully anymore, right? Oh my god, the healing done. 20,000 from both of those two.
That's a lot of healing. Ooh, he's got the double Illuminate. What was that?
Yeah, if you do a full channel refresh, you can do an instant like baby throw of an Illuminate to clear the wave.
Illuminate.
That's Aghanim Scepter done for the Coddle now. So Will-O-Wisp online. And that is super annoying to fight around in these fights. So we were talking about, you know, Sven having to commit BKB fairly early already because of just Clockwork or Viper Strike, but now you have the Will-O-Wisp, and you don't have a hero that's great at dealing with it, honestly.
Yeah, I guess it's Jakiro, but...
Again.
Yeah, 3 melee heroes. You'll at least get, like, 1 good pulse if they don't... Is potentially enough. I mean, that's already, like, 3 flat cannon shots flying in, hitting everybody.
MOUZ are still in this, man. It's only a 6K lead now. It's 36 minutes into the game. It's an MKB done on the Sven. They're strong. They actually have the XP advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. If Aurora ends up losing this, they'll really kick themselves on overcommitting on that second Aegis. But they're not out of it either. I mean, top Rax was taken, or at least one of them, so that lane is pushing for them. They still have a 7K lead, which is not a huge amount at this point, but it's something. So this third Roche fight will maybe be our decider.
They'll flare it. They know. I mean, this is a really fast Roche, too. Now, the question is...
Okay, this positioning is much better around this ward. Allnut's waiting in the back.
Smoke's going to pop. 23 Savage knows. They're like, all right, there's got to be a high ground ward. Do not risk it. They get some vision on Force for the flare. As Q still hiding on the Clockwork.
I feel like he needs a blink.
Amplify damage as well for Supreme. This is a very scary Void Spirit right now.
And it's off.
Doing a little bit of a wrap around here.
I like this movement. Honestly, Aurora's just going to cut the wave and then force Roche. So if you're MOUZ here, I think you need to be careful about them getting the high ground near the Roche pit, which I think they're kind of moving their way over.
And bottom lane slowly pushing in for Aurora as well, so you might bait someone to go back, or more likely they realize how important Roche is, and they just lose like half their tier 3 for free to a huge creep wave.
I mean, both teams are just going to keep cutting this top wave, but with Roshan available, they're just going to get started on this. There's the call. They know. They're going to use this as bait potentially, as Forrest will walk up, tries to get the D ward, gets silence from the gyrocopter. Missile is going to connect the Will-O-Wisp as well, holding him in place. The stun is there. Can they bring him down fast enough? The Glimmer Cape, the Guardian Greaves, the Pipe, as well as the Crimson Guard, everything spent. And
Mid-tower's
23
about to
Savage
fall
on the
to creeps.
backside. They're going to go ahead and just jump right in. Force gets the roll up. Stunned up once again. Hookshot is out. Eliminating the Pango would be massive. He's so important to the fight. Can they finish him off? They do. And 23 Savage, he's on the offensive. Still has that BKB ready, but they forced the Sven. His BKB spent at the moment has to back away. And you still have that cheese. And they're just going to heal up completely, go right back into Roshan.
I really like the way Aurora did that. From first identifying where they were set up around the cliff. They suspected. I don't think they saw something exactly revealing it, but they knew it was possible. So they take a long path around, cut the creep wave to set up around Roche, to now set up their own vision that MOUZ has to move into. But at the same time, the mid and bottom lane is pushing in. So bottom, it didn't end up mattering too much, but in the mid lane, they took the tower for free with those creeps. So that's going to make the push much easier now when they come in with this Aegis, Cheese, and who ended up with the Ags? Clockwork. Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I was going to say, Clockwork getting an Ags now makes things even scarier. If you get multiple heroes inside the cogs, it's terrifying, but just the ability to scout makes Flat Cannon way better. You can just triple flare the entire high ground of the base, and no one is safe from the flak. So.
Yeah, this rocket flare spam is going to be really good coming in.
We'll see what they can do. They need their mid wave to push in. They want to be able to pressure both top and mid at the same time. Haste Rune's going to get scouted. As I think 23 is going Divine, dude. He's got a Sacred Relic queued. I feel like that's a Divine Rapier if I've ever seen a Divine
I never
Rapier.
thought about this. Just disassemble Daedalus. If you want it super
I guess
fast.
you can. Yeah. Oh, here they go on a 23 Savage. The stuns are there, but the Will-O-Wisp is out, and Olnet's actually in trouble. A nice jump on the backside from Supreme, and 23 Savage is going to die. They get on top of the IO. He does have buyback. He can reload back in this, but you've spent everything, and 23 Savage is back. Hungry for revenge, looking to kill Forrest, but this Pango has been a massive issue. The perfect fight here from MOUZ. Can they get out of this, though? Another Will-O-Wisp is out onto 23 Savage, or onto a nice hookshot. IO is into this fight. They've got Forrest. Supreme stuck inside the cogs as well. He can't get out. Double kill for 23. A dieback on the Pango as Ollie. He's going to end up back in his fountain, but he's going to TP immediately.
Radiant's top barracks are under
So,
attack.
I mean,
Radiant
you're going to buy back Supreme. I feel like if you don't push them out of your base now, I don't see that ever happening.
Supreme's
again.
trying to catch Ollie as he rejoins the fight. Oh, but Ollie's smoked. He's so lucky.
Or they got on top of the Sven, Nullifier, everything dropped on top of him. Satanic to heal up 23, and everyone dying to the flat cannon. That is game, as Aurora will take game one in this series. Beautiful play from them, and just honestly really, it's like a slow and steady, but just methodical execution from them.
And, I mean, you'll have Jakiro dual breath. It's pretty good at slowing people down, but I don't know if that's really enough.
Oh, smoke pops up onto the high ground. The interesting thing here is Aurora does have a ward behind them, so if the smoke does pop, they'll see them. Oh, they're up onto the high ground now. Who's going to find who? Smokes are going to expire. They get on top of Ollie. A huge 4-hero reflection and a nice shield crash. MOUZ is going to just destroy them, but hold on. The Coddle, these Illuminates, the damage is so dang much, and Jabs is here as well with these axes. They're just going to start falling one by one. Q on the run. Force doing his best to chase them. They're turning the attention over to Bangan. Bloodright comes out. Force gets silenced up. Bangan going to go down to Jabs. How many heroes are dead right now? 4? Almost 5 now as Force trying to hobble his way through the trees. Lorna has another Illuminate here in a short while. But now, looking to go back for...
Crystal Maiden's back.
Crystal Maiden's here. He goes for the shield crash, but he gets him on the silence. Ollie and 23 Savage. He's trying to just body block
little
something.
body block.
Waste as much time as he can.
Actually, a body block would have been sick, too.
It would have.
Because he might have missed creeps, you know, depending when he dies. So if you body block it, it runs under. It might be okay. Actually, he died so early.
4 to 2.
Okay, so MOUZ got first blood on Supreme. That's usually really good. Coddle got 1 kill and 3 assists. I think that outweighs the first blood.
So we got this first blood timing. The earliest is at, 42 seconds before the horn. Interesting stat. How many kills... What's like the max number of kills in a first fight, though? Very rarely do you see a rune fight result in 6 heroes dying. So this turns out really good for Aurora. This amount of deaths, it adds up a ton. Jabs living through all of it, comes out with a bracer, like almost a full wand now. And like you said, Coddle, I think probably the biggest winner. Getting closer, like getting that urn almost immediately is wild.
That's true. It's going to be so fast. And it's really good this game, right? Versus this Dragon Knight and the Terrorblade. You want to bring so much early magic damage against him.
Bottom lane,
Another kill down here, Narman.
The
One more?
thirst, movement speed, XD, not enough.
Nice body blocks by Force.
Wait, did he switch away from Arterial on the Bloodseeker on his facet? We'll see. Root into the silence. Okay, get some. No, he didn't. He still has it. Why is there a mana cost indicator on thirst? Am I stupid? Did they change this ability?
Hang on, I've got to read. It's going to take me a long time. I'm not a good reader.
It's like a paragraph. I can't even read, dude. I went to the NA School of Education. Because I feel like the active is from the facet, so I'm probably wrong, but I feel like that's where the active actually comes from. Maybe they changed it even more so.
Maybe it's a bug. I don't know. I can't understand if there's an active. I didn't think there was one either. But, Bloodseeker's so uncommon. I have really not seen him at all. So maybe there's something I didn't understand.
In the danger zone, top lane, goes down to Q and Jabs, bottom lane.
Bushwhack 2.
Oh my
Two
God.
boars.
Wait, is he actually just dead? The dive bomb? Can they continue the chase? Does Jabs even want to? I guess you don't even have to get the kill. Like, just keeping him low in lane is good enough.
Yeah, because it's not just about your own lane where you now have a low health Terrorblade. Now the bottom lane, 23 Savage. He's like, oh yeah, thanks. Extra move speed down here.
I just want to have my production remind us that to see the damage at the 10-minute mark for the Hoodwink, that I am also going to be very interested on again.
And the stacks.
Yeah.
Stacks and damage.
Interesting.
We're figuring out Aurora.
They popped the meta in the top lane, but even with that, it's just 2 boars just laying into this Terrorblade. The Acorn shot just deleting his health pool as well.
Racking up that damage.
Dude, this boar is doing so much work.
Hoodwink got the Blightstone.
Is the boar piercing damage or something? Like,
Electric
why is it doing
damage.
so much damage to this Terrorblade?
I don't think it should be doing piercing damage, because piercing damage actually does less to heroes anyways.
Oh, is it? Okay, I couldn't remember which one it was.
Actually.
Adjust glasses loudly. I mean, we've been seeing this bottom lane go fairly well for 23. It's just Frostbite into Bloodright every single time. It's a good combo. 2 points in the Thirst now. Gives him a little bit more sustain. But you're not really slowing down the Pango either. Oh, top lane. They're finally getting on top of Jabs here. A decent amount of damage. He's going to pull the Hawk out, though. There's going to be a lot of damage into Bangan from this Hoodwink again. Oh, man. And with
He's got Bushwhack in a second if Bangan walks up too close.
I love the taunt on Hoodwink. I tried so hard to get that item just so I could have that taunt. It's so good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Unlucky on the tree shot bounce. It might have been really close to killing Shakiro.
Oh, here comes that Bushwhack like you were talking about. The Acorn shot just to secure it. Oh, that's going to chase down, get the kill onto Q, but Has to pop the stick, make it underneath his tower, and Jabs will just get himself a double kill. Oh boy, this off lane is a disaster for MOUZ. Bottom lane, they're actually gonna get aggressive here onto Ollie. This Crystal Maiden, Frostbite in one, doesn't get it off in time, and 23 Savage doesn't have the damage himself. Q, TP's down here, gonna try and look for force. We'll know about the ward here, obviously, in a moment. Ooh, whoa, that bushwhack missed. That's surprising.
Yeah, it looks like it hit the cliff.
Yeah. Oh, Swashbuckle missed. Force now in trouble. That Bloodright's gonna connect. The TP coming back again from the Crystal Maiden. The tree bounce. Oh, he got unlucky again, but the bushwhack will secure it thanks to that Thirst Vision.
Jabs in the meantime doesn't even feel pressured because of those earlier kills. The lane's just been by his tower, so they get to make this rotation without really losing anything. I say as they now commit on Jabs.
He is now feeling the pressure. He's not making it out. Is he? Oh my goodness, he does.
Nice call.
All right.
If he didn't TP, he definitely dies.
Yeah, that's a really sick go from MOUZ there. It was a sick wraparound from Olned into the trees. Bottom lane, 23 Savage. Dies to the Pango Grimstroke. And this is the thing with Bloodseeker I just don't quite understand. He is so farmed in this lane, apparently. And it's just so easy for them to find these kills. If he gets alone for a moment, the damage from Pango and Grimstroke should not be underestimated.
Yeah, it's a good combo. The Inkswell... Well, really, Inkswell plus any melee hero is pretty good, but... the shield crash, extra slow. Really yeah, it's just really easy to deliver.
Do you remember when Grimstroke Ricky was picked for like a week and then they nerfed Ricky into the ground? That was a good time.
Actually, I kind of do, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, uh-oh. We don't want that guy here. We got to get rid of him.
No invisible fun.
It's all right. We gave Nyx Assassin the ability to see all invis heroes. Top lane, Ollie's going to come through the gate, try and offer some additional pressure to this top tower. You have zoned the Terrorblade off the lane entirely, and with the double boars here, a wave coming soon, they will get this. There is no stopping this without a rotation from your mid lane DK, and I don't know if he can really afford to do that, because if he rotates, Coddle rotates.
I think he just wants to farm at this blank. He's pretty close. He's actually had a really good time in the lane.
Oh, bottom lane, the Inkswell, the silence. Can they get the kill? 23 Savage is going to turn up, but here comes Lorinov. The TP, nope, no chance. Very good response from Aurora. Yeah.
Can find anyone else, but Narman's already cut his losses long ago. Top, they find Bangin. Roar for the Jakiro. Maybe Olned can get something out of this with the Dragonite rotation.
If you can get the Beastmaster, it's really good. There's the Dragon Tail into the Inkswell. He's going to go down. Very nice rotation. All right. So they protect the top tower. They protect the Terrorblade. They get 2 kills off of it. Dragonite is owning this game.
They might be able to get something else as well, because Dragon Form still has half its duration, and Blink is on the way.
Yeah, it's worthwhile.
They're trying to play a little aggressive.
Yeah,
they're trying to play pretty aggressive top, but they hadn't actually finished the tier 1 tower, which allows all these rotations in. I think they wanted to use Roar, which is why they were looking so hard, but going a little bit too far there. Come back, Rupture on... Ooh, Illuminate? Do they have Blinding Light?
He's earned up. He did not have ult. Did he have ult? I couldn't tell. Blink reveal here from the top. Supreme with the Inkswell, the follow-up, and that's another big kill here onto Jabs Beastmaster, who was off to a great start.
Dragon Form ends just after that kill.
Yeah.
Literally the last second you could make that play.
Huge Blink timing this game, honestly. That's going to do so much work for them.
I mean, he's 9 minutes. Dragonite's at over 5K. That's huge.
Yeah.
He's at a really good time.
We were so focused on these side lanes because there was a lot of follow-up, and that's another big kill here onto Jabs Beastmaster, who was off to a great start.
Dragon Form ends just after that kill.
Yeah.
Literally the last second you could make that play.
Huge Blink timing this game, honestly. That's going to do so much work for them.
I mean, he's 9 minutes. Dragonite's at over 5K. That's huge.
Yeah.
He's at a really good time.
We were so focused on these side lanes because there was a lot of action going on there, but the fact that Dragonite is so over-farmed compared to the Coddle is really sick from Supreme. Like, that is shocking.
Yeah, he's gonna have to put in the work though, because his side lanes did struggle, and getting a couple kills on the Beastmaster, great start. Still looks like he's gonna need to help them a bit more, so they're gonna have to try to keep rotating around the ult, which he has up again actually, so they can maybe look at Lornoff if he sticks around. I think Lornoff is still just jungling though.
Yeah, getting some stacks from Q here. 10 minutes, damage dealt. Oh, it's even actually. What is this? Okay, that's kind of cool actually. We don't really see that often, but
I mean, Beastmaster does a lot of damage with his wild axes in the boars, right? Camp stack, though, they are killing it on Aurora.
This is what they do, man. This is what they do. God, I love our production team. They're so good.
All these stats are so cool. There's so much in Dota, but it's like hard to keep track of everything. So when you get the nice layouts of everything, it's easy to help to understand the impact of different heroes, such as Acorn Shot.
Or Beastmaster
Top damage dealing.
Ancient stacks.
Yeah, how close to this Ags? He actually went for some smaller items along the way. Sometimes we see straight arcane Ags, but he is working on it, maybe about halfway there. Which for the game he was having, I thought he would be really fast, but those 2 kills really slowed him down.
Yeah, they did. He was kind of pulling ahead of the Bloodseeker even at one point, but bottom lane, they're actually rotating everyone in to secure this tier 1 tower. It's a really good dodge here from 23 Savage to just retreat into his own jungle, try and farm up here on the Bloodseeker, which I'm a little bit curious what his item build is going to be this game. A lot of times you go Maelstrom on the Bloodseeker, but maybe he's thinking of doing something else. No, he is just going to do the Maelstrom. Okay, yeah. Milner, BKB, Ags. That's kind of just the default item build for this hero top lane. Q. And Ollie need to be a little bit careful. Reflections out, but DK not here. As the
I mean, the fact that we're even still looking top, right, because that tower's there, that's all because of that earlier rotation, which if they didn't, maybe they didn't feel so much pressure to find a deep roar, like they would have just taken that tower and then played normally from there. We could be looking at a pretty different game.
Yeah, absolutely. Tower ends up getting denied by the Terrorblades, so unfortunate for Aurora, but MOUZ actually feeling still pretty strong. It's a slight gold advantage for Aurora because, like you said, the side lanes were really rough. You have a lot of stacks to farm.
I think it's literally the stacks.
Yeah, it really is.
Stacks and maybe bounty runes. I don't know. I don't remember how many we're at on that front.
So, Coddle. Vessel, Boots of Travel, done for him. As they are looking maybe to go mid lane here. Supreme is just going straight into the BKB. Which we talked about. He's not a hero that likes to build Manta anymore. You kind of just need the BKB or you feed to the Coddle. Unless you actually find him to start the fight. So, it's a really smart build from Supreme this game. Dragon form out, laying into this tier 1 mid, and it doesn't, well, I was like, it doesn't look like they're going to defend, but they are just kind of running down the river towards mid now. Fortification to stall this one out. This is a big tower to keep alive. You are stacking your triangle a lot. You do not want to give them access to this. There's Vessel, Solar Bind, it's coming through. Can Q close the gap? Gets him with the stun, the sharpshooter. Can they finish the job? Another Solar Bind. He needs a little bit more, but they're afraid to chase. So he will survive. No more Vessel charges for Lornoff. If he had it, absolutely dead. Force gets ruptured and then just an instant TP.
Yeah, I mean, if this is where we like to talk about Dota being a snowball game. If Dragonite's having just a little bit worse of a game, then that's a Dragonite kill right there. But instead, he is high level, very farmed. Strength gain is great and gets to live with like 100 health or something there.
And they're going to set their sights back on the mid tower. They bring Olnit on the Terrorblade. He can meta for this if he really wants, but tower is fairly low. They've got plenty of heroes behind him, and that's going to be last hit for Terrorblade. Supreme grabbing a haste rune. Smoked up as well, looking for another hero, seeing if they can find it, but I mean, 23 Savage would be best, and the line that they're drawing is perfect. They see the ward drop though, so they actually know exactly where where they're coming from. 23 Savage just be very careful here.
Scan connects.
Yeah, they know. He is so dead. Does get the blood right off as the team is coming through to try and support Lorinov. Does he get healed in time? He does not. And Supreme just TP's out. Solar Bind onto 2. Wait a minute, Supreme canceled his TP. Rolling Thunder from Force. They want to just keep going. Both supports just food for the Pango as they got him. Terrorblade looking for more. Lorinov slowed up the double jump here. Not enough to catch him. As Beastmaster, no TP to respond bottom. They get 3 big kills.
That was such a sick play that backfired. Lorinov used Blinding Light to knock Dragonite towards Hoodwink to land the Bushwhack. But then Dragonite killed them. So maybe it would have been better letting him TP out there. But it was a very cool play. We might get to see it here in the replay, yeah. So they thought, oh, this is too deep, guys. We should get out. It's like, oh, guys, I'll knock. Ah, damn, we missed it. But, I mean, in the end, Pango got here. They got the roll. They got the kill. So, actually, he's really glad his TP got canceled.
Yeah, the Pango roll, we mentioned last game, right? Like, if this hero can get onto the back line, he just rips through the supports. They don't really stand a chance against the Rolling Thunder, which, you know, is exactly what happened that game. They get the Soul Bind onto 2, and it's both of the supports, and that's free game for the Pango.
Radiant are scanning.
See where's Bloodseeker at? Maelstrom. He had the Mjolnir queued up, but looks like he's recognizing the game's a little bit rough. It's speeding up faster than he'd like, so he's going to go for BKB. Ags for Beastmaster, halfway to Blink. See, that's the thing. Like, Beastmaster's more of a pick-off hero now, so the fact that he got set back so much could have been having, like, 2-3 roar kills by now, but now he's still trying to get to that point.
I mean, he's farming, sure, but this game is dead even now, and I think Dragon Knight, to me, is the one who's going to have the most impact in this game. Like, if he finds his target, if he gets onto the Coddle, there's no surviving this. Bottom lane, though, they're looking for 23 Savage as in the... Ooh, wait a bit. Bottom. There we go. 23 Savage gets the silence off, trying to make it to his team. The heal's there! No way! Okay, he's going to TP. The roar from Drabs grabs the Jakiro, and... Ooh, that was close.
Perhaps Bloodseeker's a better hero than we thought.
Was it the Bloodseeker or was it the Coddle heal? I don't know, but I mean,
dude,
it worked.
Because of his facet, he could knock the Pango towards where he wanted to run, which allowed his team to bushwhack.
I'm gonna say no, but no, it was a nice response there from Aurora for sure. They kind of sniffed this out. Like they were running bottom on 2, trying to figure out where the heck this team was, and it happened to line up exactly as they were trying to gank 23 Savage. So it's a really really good response. Amplified damage, scouted top.
Amplified damage. I think you should actually give it to Beastmaster. He has a blink on the way and roars up in 15 seconds. Give it to him and go find a kill. All right, it's gonna go to Lorinov. It's okay. You can still do the same thing.
They have a ward scouting some heroes on the top side of the map, right? There's like a deep ward behind the Twin Gate, and they were able to see some of the MOUZ heroes. Supreme blinks in, does not find his target.
He has BKB on the Dragon Knight. If you get caught off guard and get blink roared maybe before you can use your BKB, you might be burstable between Solar Bind and Drums of Slam, all that, but as long as BKB comes up, should be fine to just dive in like crazy. Actually, even the pipe on Pango as well should protect his team from a lot of that damage. Wow, that was...
This is why Hoodwink is so good, dude. Instantly clears the wave without showing, just hides in some trees, TP's out. They lose their observer ward for that, knowing like, all right, there's no way he gets out here unless he saw us move. So nice stuff there from both teams.
Dire's middle tower has
Oh, you know what? I thought Jab's got a blink, but actually he's gonna go straight BKB.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had it queued up. I saw it, but yeah, BKB instead. Force with another pipe to start this game. Gonna go back for the Guardian Greaves, which we saw last time. I mean, he would pipe Greaves Crimson Guard. Like, that was his build last game. And I don't know if Crimson Guard's as useful, but he still might do it to try and just allow or enable his team, right? The Dragonite and the Terrorblade are plenty of damage. Jabs. We'll scout some of these heroes here. They know something's up. He's going to send in the boars, and he will instantly TP, knowing that there's some response coming through here. Yeah. Dude, this ward is so value. It is seeing everything.
They might just be able to go Roche, though, if they want.
Well, it's bottom, right? Yeah. They could just go through
yeah, it's
portal
about to
into
move
Roshan.
over. So they can establish. They can see if they get a pick off. If they can't, they can at least set up wards down here.
A lot of damage from Caudle now. I mean, this is expected. The Solar Bind Spirit Vessel combo. A lot of that, plus the Illuminate spam. And with Roshan, if they grab this, it's pretty big, but Aurora, no. They're sniffing this one out. They are smoked up, heading to the bottom side here, seeing what they can find. As Caudle.
Beastmaster does not have a TP,
Force.
though.
Silences him for the moment. Rupture is out. Force is going nowhere. 23 comes in, pops the BKB, and we'll just bonk him until he dies. Supreme does get a nice Dragon Tail stun there onto the freezing field. Supreme has his own BKB still. They're trying to force it with the Caudle, as they're bringing Beastmaster now into this bottom fight.
He's got his BKB. He had to walk here because he had no TP.
You just have to wait out Caudle ult. You don't have a choice.
At the same time, Dragon Form is going to be down.
Yeah.
That might hurt Caudle more, though. I think no Solar Bind reduces his damage way more. I don't know.
Solar Bind
it's
forces
similar.
the BKB.
That's true. Yeah, and they feel comfortable with it. No Dragon Form, but they know there's no Caudle ult, so they're just right back into the pit.
I mean, it's almost up. It's 10 seconds. This thing is so fast. And they're going to scout this with a boar. They're knowing something's up here. Does it make it into the pit? It does. So they see the Roche half HP. Sharpshooter just collapsed this Terrorblade as Lorna going to come through, start throwing these Illuminates. Jabs smoked up. They see Supreme. Roar would be a big kill. They get him. So much damage to the Vessel. There's going to be the Bushwhack. He's instantly deleted. You gotta respect the Solar Bind amp, as now Roshan will go to Aurora. A little bit similar to last game. They seem to be one of the best at fighting around these pits, man.
Supreme did not get the BKB off there in time. Or maybe just didn't think that, you know, maybe he thought he could tank it. It's like, yeah, one Roar, I'm so farmed, I'm so tanky, but the chain stun into the Bushwhack, which I think added a little bit of Solar Bind, right? Because it moved him into all the magic damage. He killed him in the 2 stuns.
How does the Hoodwink have this much net worth? What?
What do you mean? Top damage Hoodwink, press Q. His
Dude.
name's literally Q. He was made for this hero. Press Q, win game.
I don't understand, bro. He has a Gleipnir. That's not okay.
That's really good versus the Terrorblade. You can root all the illusions. You'll do so much damage with Acorn Shot. And it's a little bit more setup for your team, right? Which currently you're just depending on Beastmaster Roar and Frostbite. But now you'll have another AoE root to work with.
23 Savage is just going to farm with this Aegis, to be honest. Like, he doesn't really care about, like, joining fights right now. It's kind of sad watching him farm with 4 points thirst, and he gets like 70 health off of an ancient creep. You know, where in the past he used to get like over, like, I don't know, almost 200. Ooh, that's a nice little freezing field there for Ollie. Just take some enemy caps. Why not? It's very unlikely he's gonna get a full ult off in any of these fights. Oh, that being said, Supreme Dragon Tail. They do get the Rupture, though, onto Supreme, and here goes 23. Just gonna bonk him. Supreme just TP's out. Okay, I mean, they keep Ollie alive, though, which is really nice. The heals from Loranov are doing work this game. 23 Savage with the completed Mjolnir. Force mid lane, though. Slowed up by the boars. He'll walk away. There's an Amplify damage. I think they scouted it. Well, maybe not, actually. It just spawned. Dude, he's
Crystal
past
mains
the
are pretty
Pango.
tanky nowadays. Pavis health talent got the barrier up in time too. It's not so easy to kill these supports anymore.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, Jabs grabs the amplify damage. You have no BKB on this Dragon Knight. I feel like you could fight, but
Radiant's
they're just
bottom
going to
tower is
continue
under attack.
slow pushing this tower and farming. Like Jabs, his heat map has to literally just be the triangle. I don't know where else he's been on the Beastmaster rather than showing up for the Roche bottom and then going right back top to the triangle.
One
you know?
line to the bottom lane, and one line back.
He's just been up there farming the whole time.
They see Supreme in a ward.
He's got no BKB. Bottom lane, Jabs he might just solo kill Ultimate. He does. The amplified damage. Oh my god. Goodbye, Bangan as well. Double kill. 2v1ing these heroes. It's not even close. This guy is a beast. Master. See you there?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy he just 2v1 down there. But I mean, once the Drums of Slam is going, he does so much damage, which is why he's transitioned to this pickoff type hero. But then, yes, Supreme not having his BKB earlier off that attempt on the Crystal Maiden where she lives. They just end up running him down. A lot of momentum going to Aurora. Suddenly a 14k lead. And they still actually have 1 minute and 20 seconds on this Aegis. I don't know if they really want to poke high ground with like 10 seconds. Yeah, they have lines drawn bottom. If they can take these two bottom towers, I think they'll be really happy with this
Dire's
Aegis.
middle tower is under attack.
I feel like they have to pressure it, right? I'm kind of with you on that. Beastmaster's slowly pushing in with the boars, but I feel like you want your Coddle to be there. Like, speaking of which, Aurora went for a Midas, which is not something that we see all that often on the mid Coddle.
Hell yeah.
But he's like, yeah, whatever. I can farm more, right?
Let me see. Is there a talent he wants?
Dude, he went Vessel, Boots of Travel, Octarine, then Midas.
Does he want the 25 faster for Illuminate damage versus Terrorblade?
I think it is.
Or the Dispel?
Scanning.
I don't know, dude. I literally have no idea which one it is. We're going to see them smoke up on MOUZ. They do smoke on the backside of Aurora here as well. The scan connects. They're going to get a high ground ward. Both of them. Ollie will see the ward and immediately disengage. Supreme's trying to find his target. Can't do it. Roar just solo kills the Pango again. Oh my god, this Beastmaster 2 hero bushwhack. Supreme loses all of his health. 23 Savage will finish the job. Jakiro and Terrorblade, the only survivors. This one
expired,
is over, man.
Yeah, you're just going straight up here. No Aegis needed.
Hoodwink did 3,200 damage. Yeah, I mean, where's Bangan gonna go?
What do you not understand about pressing Q, Ricky? Press Q, win game. Top contested hero.
That bushwhack was insane.
Dire's bottom tower.
They're gonna
Off
decrease
that
the
fight, they're gonna
AoE
get
on
2
bushwhack by
barracks.
like 25 or something. They will. I think like that's a legitimate
Leave
nerf
Acorn
that could
shot,
happen.
nerf
Leave Acorn
bushwhack
shot,
radius.
nerf bushwhack radius by like 25 or something. Dude, how do you even go into them? We saw. I guess you don't have Aegis. Okay? Yeah, the game's looking real rough for MOUZ here. What is your like way back into this? How can you pull this game back?
We haven't seen Ulnit be able to just stand and fight so far. Meta is, yeah, we see the Beastmasters
Gleipnir.
killing people over here. That was a really good bushwhack, actually, both
come
of them before
on.
they can do anything. So that's how like a lot of these fights are happening, is that the initiation off the Blink Roar is happening. And that feels like a little bit of being outplayed, because you have way more ways to start fights on the side of MOUZ, but they just weren't quite able to make the same moves between like the Blink Stun on the Dragon Knight, the Ink Swell, you know, Pango Roll. They just didn't find the fights they needed to, and now it might be a little late.
Oh, Supreme, never mind. They're going to go on to the... I mean, he's got PKB, 23 Savage, pops the Rupture, trying to run Supreme. You cannot chase. 23's fallen low. If Force could stay on top of him, maybe you get the kill, but he's so damn fast.
He's
Jabs
so fast.
tanking everyone, trying to solo the team, but can't do it. He will die. You lose that Dragon Knight as the Rolling Thunders come to an end. The supports isolate off Force. Big shield here from this Pango, trying himself to keep himself in this fight. Sharpshooter off the mark, a nice Force tap, but Force stuck on the high ground. A really good solar bind, but can they keep him? Olnik goes in with a BKB, trying to lay into 23, but he can't see him. He's gotta get something. They're just hiding in the trees, and no Olnik. He gets the Sunder onto Lorna. Perfect target. But now 23's back. Q has done so much damage in this fight, and 23 will clean it up. Full heal.
I got a question for you, Ricky.
Yeah, hit me.
Have we even seen Rupture used on Pango?
Nah, once, but he TP'd out bottom. Yeah, this was like right after the lane, like kind of end of lane stage. Yeah.
I was just watching that fight. I just think it's so funny. Like, we've been questioning this Bloodseeker pick. It's like, oh, but it counters Pango. But then it's like, it's never even on the Pango. It's just on other heroes. Just outrun the Pango in that last fight till roll ends, and then they just kill the Pango. Maybe that's the second counter.
Yeah, I guess. My thought process comes down to this. Can 23 Savage be literally any hero right now and they still win?
If he was a different hero, he wouldn't have outrun the roll in that last fight.
Oh, he's just gonna run in, has BKB, bonk, 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 Supreme. Okay, this is funny. Wait a minute, the Guardian Greaves? Yeah, no, still not enough. And 23 Savage has a massive shield to play with. They get themselves another kill thanks to the assist there from the supports. Looking for Narman, will not chase into the fountain. 23 Savage, look at the smile on his face. He's just having a good time.
You guys see I pushed that guy like 300 units.
Dyer's middle barracks.
How much damage does that convert to?
Like 200 maybe, I don't know. He did a lot of damage in the fight, for sure.
They're gonna buy back, try to defend their last barracks. You do still have BKB meta. He picked up a Crystallis. He'll do the damage if he gets to just sit and attack, but man, I mean, look at that. They just keep pushing him back with spell spam.
Dyer's top tower is falling.
This is just such a painful experience for MOUZ. Like, 2 games in a row, it's been kind of the same thing, right? This Coddle has just ruined their ability to take fights completely, and now he's just going Dagon for fun. He's like, yeah, why not? I don't need any more control. I'm just gonna zap people.
I want to insta-shot 2 creeps at the same time.
Yeah.
I want to highlight, before anyone gets too like annoyed with the Bloodseeker winning and MOUZ not playing well. Remember at the start of the game, that like 4-2 trade?
Are scanning.
That did affect the lanes quite a lot, and sometimes you just get a bad fight, and
Scanning.
the whole game is incredibly rough. I feel like that did kind of affect MOUZ, where Supreme, he had a good time in the mid lane. He got the first blood. The rest of his team had to deal with the other 4 kills affecting their lanes, and they did not have a good time.
Okay. 28,000 healing. I mean, it's a Bloodseeker. He's got to have that kind of healing numbers. Aegis picked up for 23 Savage. They'll get themselves the last banner, which, I mean, this is kind of...
Supreme, he had a good time in the mid lane. He got the first blood. The rest of his team had to deal with the other 4 kills affecting their lanes, and they did not have a good time.
Okay. 28,000 healing. I mean, it's a Bloodseeker. He's got to have that kind of healing numbers. Aegis picked up for 23 Savage. They'll get themselves the last banner, which, I mean, this is kind of the... Dude, Jabs went Dagon as well. He's got so much spell lifesteal, which is really kind of a way to keep himself sustained in these fights against the Terrorblade, as he's going to finish up the Shiva's Guard relatively soon. Just needs about 150 gold. I mean, we saw him tanking 4 heroes and nearly killing, you know, the Dragon Knight in the process. So he is very scary.
I was trying to sit around this ward, get a pick off if anyone wanders over. It's kind of what they have to play for, is for Aurora to maybe be a little overconfident, just a little scattered. And if you can get a quick kill, which you do have the Blink Dragon Tail, right? It's instant. You can get the chain stun. Altnet will do the damage. But the full team fights are pretty impossible. Like you said, he's just tanking 4 heroes on his own. But yeah, good on Aurora. No one's scattering off. They're staying all together.
Yeah, it's been a really clean series for them. They look super good, and it's not that surprising after how good of a day one they had. Like, they looked really solid yesterday. Struggled a little bit this morning, but they very well experienced team. I don't know, man. You even get, dude, this Bloodseeker is impossible to kill now. He's actually so tanky. Smoke on smoke. This is it. The game deciding fight here as he just blinks in, and Terrorblade is so dead. He's gonna get the Sunder, but can they actually keep themselves in it? That's the question. They're on top of Lorna, trying to finish the kill. He might be able to do it. Altnet, he does. Supreme's gonna burn onto the backside as 23 Savage gets a triple kill, and the GGs are out. Just too far behind. You have too many problems to deal with. And a really sick 2-0 here from Aurora.
I can't believe the Bloodseeker pick.